for
You're
inviting
watching
us.
Capital Region Today, and we're going to be talking to our next guest, Hartford St. Paul's Center, and we'll find out what they're doing. A lot for kids. Well, let's find out. They'll tell us. Tracy Pitcher is the executive director, and Andrew Barnes is the development, whatever. You know, they always have these titles. So tell me, for those that don't know, in Rensselaer, that you have the St. Paul's Center. Tell us what you do. I know you've been on before, but this is a new segment.
A nice reminder,
Yeah.
right? So St. Paul Center has been focusing on housing for mothers and children who are experiencing homelessness. So it's an emergency.
Is that a big thing? I mean,
Unfortunately, it is.
and I mean, we hear about it, but what causes homelessness for mothers and children?
There's a variety of issues.
Okay.
We find that most of the families who come our way are those who, for one reason or another, have lost their apartment, an emergency that cost them a lot of money, so they weren't able to meet the rent
Make their rent.
obligations.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a domestic violence situation. Other times, growing families, they've outgrown the size of their apartment and can't find another to fit the size of their family.
And we have an insufficiency of lower housing, lower income housing.
We sure do. We sure do. So some of those families end up moving in with other family members.
Yeah.
And it's just not something that's sustainable.
It's not feasible. Yeah.
So then they come to us looking for emergency
Do you
shelter.
have a place, or do you give support? Or do you have a building?
We do. We have a building in Rensselaer that's an emergency shelter, and then we have 2 apartment buildings that offer permanent supported housing with case management services, also in Rensselaer. And then through HUD, we have a grant that funds a scattered site program. So we work with landlords, rent their apartments, provide a subsidy, and then ongoing case management support to the families who are in that particular type of housing.
Okay.
And now we have, we're broadening our focus to include seniors who are experiencing homelessness.
I mean, it's just shocking. In this country that has so much, with the billionaires that are making, in corporations, excuse me while I digress, that are making so much money, and we have people at the bottom end just struggling to survive.
And it's a growing number of people who are finding themselves in that predicament. So because seniors who are experiencing homelessness have usually experienced it for a number of times or for many years across their lifetime, and so they will come to us with some significant medical issues. And so we're developing a program that really, by partnering with other providers, that really will be able to provide a much better quality of life to those persons, and hopefully it might be the last.
I can't
the last place
imagine
that they're
how you
at.
support this financially. That's you.
Yep, indeed.
Okay, Andrew, tell us how you do it.
So, a day-to-day in my life at St. Paul's Center is working on private and state grants. Also working with
You're a nonprofit, so therefore
Yep.
you can get grants. Yeah.
Exactly. Spreading the mission, vision, and values to our individual donors, our sustaining members, and especially our volunteers. We have an amazing core group of volunteers that provide amazing services. For example, I like to call them cheer events, where it'll be like 20 to 25 volunteers come in. We can do movie nights, bring holiday events to the shelter, just love the children, and the moms bring gifts that they can unfortunately can't purchase for themselves. So basically my job is to spread the word of what we do at St. Paul Center, why we do it, and also how we do it.
Well, once people know, but you have fundraisers, don't you?
Yes.
Funny you should mention.
Funny I should say that. Sparkle, shine for the shelter, right?
Yep. We're that event will be on May 7th from 6 to 8 at City Church on North Pearl Street in Albany. The event came out in a funny way. So not funny, haha, but
Peculiar.
A lot of our
That works.
Better word.
As I mentioned, a lot of our mothers they can't purchase certain items for like
And some
day-to-day
of them are
items.
hygiene products that are very difficult to get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we found ourselves with a copious amount of handbags and jewelry at a time. So we met as a team and we thought, well, what can we do with these items? We gave all the items out, but we had so much of an abundance of them. So we thought, maybe we can sell them for a lower price. These are high-end bags and they're high-end jewelry for a low cost for our constituents, and all the proceeds will go back then to the moms.
Goes right back.
And then any of the items that aren't sold.
I mean, do you really want to, I don't know, does Gucci make bags? But anyways, do you really want a Gucci bag when you need to feed your family?
Exactly, and that's what what that coincides with our mission is, you know what, sell them and put the money back into the shelter to get these women and children housed.
Yeah, which your mission is amazing, but it's sort of one of those missions that you can never complete.
No,
hard.
unfortunately, we aren't going to put ourselves out of work
Yeah.
by working on our mission. The unfortunate thing is that it's just growing. I mean, right now, over 100 families are experiencing homelessness, and just in the
100
county of
families?
Rensselaer, yes, and the numbers have been high like that all through 2023. We've been 100% occupied, and the difficulty in finding affordable housing has increased so significantly. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand you're doing the housing and stuff. You don't do anything with food, right? Do you have a food bank?
We don't. We have a third party, so we do benefit from the regional food bank.
Okay.
We are partnered with a wonderful nonprofit called Doors of Hope. They're
Okay.
kind of like our neighbor in Rensselaer. They are a food pantry, and once a month, our families can put in a voucher, and they go above and beyond for our families. They not only benefit our families in the scattered sites, but they also benefit our families in our Lee Dyer apartments, as Tracy mentioned. So we do
You
have
do
a
have
small
that little
food
piece of it.
Exactly.
The
We
other
also
piece that
work-
I'm wondering about, excuse me, is a lot of, I would imagine this homelessness might come because of domestic violence. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. The majority of the families we serve have had an experience with domestic violence, whether it is the cause of their homelessness at that time, but there's
contributing to it.
a history, correct.
So, do you have any mental health or? You're nodding your head.
Some of our guests and clients have diagnosed mental illnesses.
And so, do you have any help for them?
Yes, there's actually a wonderful person, Tara Stone from Rensselaer County Mental Health, who comes in and does assessments for those who don't have a formal diagnosis, but yet need the diagnosis in order to secure some type of housing support. And we do work with Rensselaer County Mental Health.
So you're like almost a whole package.
That's exactly how we
That's what
address
I was fishing for when I was asking about these questions.
That's exactly how we view it, because it's more than just putting a roof over someone's head. It's addressing a number of quality of life issues, especially when it comes to the children. Many of the moms we work with, over 60% of them experienced homelessness when they were children, and we're
Okay.
trying to break that cycle. So
It's a cycle, yeah. And they say that, sometimes that's what you learned, and
true.
and if you had a father that was abusive to your mother, then you expect that that's going to happen to you.
It's
So
a normalizing
yeah,
experience.
it normalizes the unnormal.
The
Is there
unfortunate.
words like unnormal? I don't know.
The unfortunate.
Disnormal? I don't know. I might be making up some words here, but anyway. So if someone wants to contribute to you, you'll take a cash donation. You'll probably take, gift cards. You'll take whatever they would like to. If you got a bunch of gift cards for Christmas that you're not going to use, pass them on.
We will 100% take cash, check, and gift card donations. We love gift card donations. I'm glad you mentioned that, because if some of our families can't afford food for their children, then a gift card to Walmart at the time, especially our families in our scattered site, if they're
Yeah.
in a pinch, then we can provide them with the gift cards that are donated.
That's
so
great.
We love
Yeah.
that.
I want to congratulate you both. Well, not congratulate, but I guess that sounds like not the right word, but I want to just cheer for you for what you're doing. I don't know what word I want to use, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, it does take a village
Yeah.
to help folks.
To what
and,
you're doing is so amazing, and it takes people and organizations, faith-based or any of the ones, secular, it doesn't make any difference, but all the people are working together to try and make our communities a little bit better, and to take the burden off of the people that are just trying to make it day
Yeah.
by day, and then you got those billionaires trying to figure out which yacht I want to buy next, right?
Yep.
I know. We're in the same boat. We all understand. Thank you both for being here so much. Andrew Barn and, of course, Tracy Pitcher. Please come back again and let me know how you're doing. I just know that you're doing such wonderful work, and keep it up.
Thank you
Leanne,
so
very
very
Yeah,
much.
thank you for being here.